Hello guys, welcome to the dojo. This is our second in-depth video about Orisa. This video is going to explain how to use her in a team and how to play against her. You are going to see her synergies as we explain all potential combos with the characters. Make sure that you watch our previous episode about her mechanics and abilities in depth. Let's get to it. Alright, Orisa is an anchor tank. This means that she wants all teammates to play around her most of the time. This allows her to use her abilities to their fullest potential. Being an anchor tank does not mean, however, that she should be in the front line soaking up damage. She needs a little more tricky playstyle. Thus, the best way to play her is with a main tank like Reinhardt in slow comps or a Winston in dive setups. You should never consider Orisa as a frontliner. The only exception is King of the Hill maps. When there is no shield in front of her and the teams are on equal footing, she is going to die, period. She can't withstand as much punishment as Reinhardt and doesn't want to draw all the attention of the enemy team. You need to understand this to be able to play well in a team where Orisa is present. You can expect players who do not really know how to play her to pump out damage with Orisa while throwing shields into choke points. We are going to see this is not how she should be played. You can still use her shield to your advantage, just note that it will go down really quickly if you have an Orisa teammate. If she goes in head front and dies, try to stay behind her bulk as much as possible doing your job. If she is played in a dive comp, pay attention to where she puts the shield and play around that position. Okay, we are finally ready to discuss the playstyle that is needed to be a good Orisa player and add value to the team. You can consider Orisa as a support tank, someone who enables great plays using abilities wisely. Orisa can be surprisingly good in attacking scenarios in both slow and dive compositions. The idea here is to provide both defensive utility and raw damage to the team. She can stay behind the Reinhardt, for example, and pump damage into the enemy shield, allowing for an easier push into the choke of the attackers. Here's a checklist with your priorities. Stick around your main tank, do not lose sight of him. Help him stay alive. Place the shield in a way that helps to regenerate his own shield, pull away anyone who is hurting him, etc. Help to break the enemy shield with your damage. Your full clip does 1800 damage, that's nearly enough to break a Reinhardt shield in itself. Pull targets together so your DPS can do their work. Pull enemies away from your shields and down from high grounds. Create positional opportunities for your team. Avoid standing still and fight prolonged battles in chokes. Try to push in and gain some ground so your teammates can come in with you. Place your supercharger to a position where you have some kind of cover. Always have a shield ready to protect it from frontal damage. Flankers will come for it, pull them away and body block as much as needed. Defensive play is Orisa's stronger side. As she is able to camp and build nests with her teammates, the only thing to pay attention to is not to be too predictable. Here's the checklist. You can be a main tank in some defensive scenarios. Make sure that you use the terrain to your advantage and shield dance. Do not get picked, better safe than sorry. Use your shield to cut the enemy backline from the front line when they are charging in. You can deny healing and force the supports to play closer to the front line. Your DPS can use that easily. Use HUD to split engaging enemies. Let the ball float past the front line and pull away the backline. This divide and conquer tactic works well with Orisa team comps. The supercharger has a really long range, but it is stationary. Make sure that you use it in the beginning of a big fight so you get the most value from it. As you are playing in the front line, try to step back a bit, place and shield it, and then get back to the fight. Okay, let's speak about Orisa on different map types. Orisa is kind of good on all maps, but the weakest game type is payload. Defending is better as you can set up defensive positions, but attacking does not really favor Orisa's playstyle. If you want to pick her steal, make sure that you place your shield on the payload and play around that with a slow comp, or help the divers by pulling enemies and placing shields into the enemy team for added protection. Place the supercharger on the rear side of the payload if you don't see a better position. Now we get to the part where we inspect Orisa's place in a team environment. You can play every hero in every situation, however it is good to know when she is the strongest. At the time of writing, Orisa is still not part of the meta. Pro players do not really use her, so the community is still a bit afraid when they have to play with her in a team. If you like the playstyle of a caretaker tank who provides a lot of utility and dynamic protection for your team, but still able to do a lot of damage, Orisa is a good pick. She can be a strong alternative to other off-tanks and has a really nice synergy with Reinhardt. You can deal a lot of damage, help in situations where your team cannot advance. We would suggest picking Orisa when you have a good combo potential. She alone won't be able to make a difference. There are better picks when you are not dependent on your teammates. However, she can enable great plays with the right teammates. She can be safely picked in the beginning. If you get hard countered, however, change to a better alternative. Some example lineups where she can excel. First of all, the 2-2-2 compositions. For example, Reinhardt Orisa for the tanks, Genji Soldier as the DPS, and Ana Lucio for the supports. Play with Rein closely. Pull enemies close to allow for some free hammer swings. Pull targets to you and help your team with damage. When Genji ults, pull the enemies together for an easy wipe. We will talk about combos later in this video. The next composition where Orisa can be really good is 3-1-2 compositions with 1 DPS. For example, Reinhardt Orisa and Roadhog for the tanks, Hanzo for the single DPS, and Zenyatta Lucio for the supports. Your objective as Orisa is to help your DPS position to high grounds or where there is a line of sight of the enemy supports. Pull targets into the open, place your supercharger behind your bulky front line and wreak havoc. Orisa is also good in 2-2-2 dive compositions. For example, Winston, Orisa, Genji, Pharah, Mercy and Ana is a good example lineup. Help Winston by throwing the shield to the high ground and pulling enemies together. Protect Pharah from harassment by placing the shield on the enemy. You can do a lot of damage while they are focusing the others. Alright, it should be clear by now that Orisa is a secondary support tank with more DPS than others. She doesn't have the peak potential like Roadhog, but can provide consistent damage to the team. Her presence can be really frightening if the enemy doesn't have the raw firepower to deal with shields. Let's discuss some character combinations. You can use this knowledge when you are playing solo to complement a good teammate, or play with a premade to use these combinations. First of all, we'll see what hard counters Orisa. The main hard counter is Sombra. She is able to hack Orisa, making a big and slow dummy for everyone to charge their ultimates on. Sombra's ult is really devastating in Orisa lineups. She can come to Orisa up close and personal to unload a clip and fall back to safety with ease. We suggest swapping when there is a good Sombra around. The next counter to Orisa is Widowmaker. She can avoid your shields by taking control of high grounds and kill you in 3 headshots. If you are not able to position yourself behind shields, you will have a really hard time staying alive. Okay, these were the 2 hardest counters to Orisa, but there are others. We call these soft counters, but they still give a hard time to any Orisa player. The first soft counter is Hanzo. He is same as Widowmaker, but it is harder to hit Orisa with Hanzo. However, 2 good shots will make quick work of her. And then there is Tracer as a soft counter. Orisa is slow and while she is providing a good protection to the backline, it is not her best thing to do. Tracer can blink around and charge her ultimate quickly on Orisa. If you have trouble catching her, or she is ulting too much, then swap. The next soft counter is the other flanker Genji. Same as Tracer, but he is able to harass you from a longer distance. A good Genji can avoid being pulled by the HUD, so it can be really annoying for Orisa to deal with. He can also deflect the ball and combo with it to your demise if you are too predictable with the Hawk. Pharah is also a soft counter to Orisa. Theoretically, Orisa can deal with Pharah, but the projectiles from the fusion cannon are slow, and Orisa is a sitting duck when shooting to the skies. Make sure that you have someone in your team dealing with Pharah or switch to a better tank alternative. Okay, the last soft counter is Reaper. Orisa is a really easy snack for Reaper. The best thing to do is try to pull him away and dance around your shield, but it is really hard to stay alive against a good Reaper. Let's talk about synergies with other characters. Orisa can work exceptionally well with different character combinations. It is a good opportunity to pick Orisa in case you see any of them in a team, or you are needing a little bit more tankiness and damage in the lineup. Let's start with the DPS characters. Let's see Genji. Halt is your best buddy in this setup. Pull targets in range, wither them down and let Genji dash in, dash out, quickly finishing them. Pulling together a team when Genji is ulting is another synergy that you can use well. If there is no Ana in your team, your ult can substitute for the damage boost, giving Genji and all other teammates a lot easier time to deal with the opponents. The next one is McCree. McCree needs a lot of protection to be able to do his job. Make sure that your shield is ready when he needs it, so he can dance around it while shooting enemies. Pull away anybody coming close to him if he has this stun on cooldown. You can protect him with your body if needed when he ults and the shield goes down. He can still lock on the Deadeye on the enemies if you are in front of him. Use your halt ability to pull targets up in the air so they can be direct hit with the Pharah when they land. Halt can also be used to pull down potential threats to Pharah from elevated positions, making them concentrate on staying alive rather than shooting your teammate. The next one is Reaper. You can dance around your shield and benefit a lot from your ultimate. Make sure that you fire a halt bubble into the enemy chasers and hold them up. The next one is Soldier. Soldier loves playing around shields. Basically the same as with McCree. However, it is good if you know how to place your shield to the high ground in order to protect Soldier there. The next one is Sombra. Your shield can be placed in a way that protects Sombra when she is doing her job in the midst of the enemy team. A hard trick to pull off, as you need to synchronize with the Sombra if she wants to use the shield. The last DPS character is Tracer. Halt is like a mini graviton charge. Any Tracer should be able to ult into it. Good for pulling together key targets and bombing them. She can also use the shield the same way as Sombra does. Now let's see defense characters. The first is Bastion. Your shield can be really good for Bastion as he changes positions a lot. This allows your duo to put pressure on the enemy team from different directions. Halt can catch fleeing enemies when Bastion uses his ultimate. Orisa's supercharger gives Bastion insane amounts of damage, a force to reckon with. The next one is Hanzo. A cheesy trick to pull targets upward from behind the shield so Hanzo can one-shot them. Halt can also be combined with Hanzo's ult. Make sure that you let the Hanzo initiate with the ult and pull enemies into the dragons, not the other way around. Hanzo's ultimate moves slowly, so it is hard to sync it the other way. Hanzo players will also love you if you are able to protect them on elevated positions with your shields. The next one is Junkrat. Halt is really good with him, especially with his ultimate. The next character is Mei. While the enemies are getting sucked high up in the air by your Halt ability, Mei can quick freeze them with ease. The next synergy is with Torbjörn. Protect him and the turret with the shield wherever he is. Keep an eye out for his nests and help if you need to. The last defensive character is Widowmaker. Place your shields to elevated positions and pull targets from behind shields so Widowmaker can land a clean headshot. Now let's speak about other tanks. The first is D.Va. Shield is her friend when she dives in and tries to take targets out. Use Halt to pull enemies into the ultimate. The next is Reinhardt. Orisa is very good with Reinhardt. You can shield your way to the enemy without much trouble. Orisa can do a lot of damage while Ren is slowly walking to the enemy. A good combo is to pull the enemy Rein up, allowing yours to earth shadow freely. You can also feed Rein's ultimate by synchronizing your Halt with his Flame Strike. A lot of ultimate charge for the Rein. The next one is Roadhog. He can get up close and personal or attack from good angles with your shield. You can also combo your Halt with his hook to get picks on the enemy team. The next is Winston. Orisa can throw her barrier forward so Winston can dance around it when he dies. Barrier can also be thrown at snipers Winston is targeting so he can use it as a cover. Orisa can also use Halt to get the enemy DPS or snipers away from Winston for a short while so he can focus his target or jump to safety. The last tank is Zarya. You two can dance around the enemy staying alive for long periods of time. Make sure that you two harmonize your shields and abilities so there's always something protecting you. Lastly, let's talk about synergies with supports. The first is Ana. Ana will have an easy time healing you and getting her ultimate fed. If you are able to soak damage, Ana can get a really quick nano boost. Then you can do a lot of damage and place your supercharger early for a quick team wipe. Make sure that you protect your deployable. The next support is Lucio. The speed is really good for Orisa when you want to close distances, jump to the enemy and pump damage to their heads. The next support is Mercy. Mercy can use your big bulk to stay alive. Your Halt is also good for protecting her from flankers. She can give a really nice boost to your damage too. The next one is Symmetra. You can use your Halt ability to pull enemies in the range of her turret nests. The last character is Zenyatta. He's basically the same as Mercy. He can use your bulk to hide from the enemies and you can protect him from flankers. Zenyatta can really enhance your damage with the orbs, so make sure that you target them. That's the end of our in-depth Orisa guide. You can find the whole content in written form in the description of this video. If you have any suggestions or ideas, make sure that you comment them here so we can keep that guide updated. If you like what we are doing, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up and share this video. Enable the bell icon so you get our notifications. See you guys next time. This time we'll have to join forces.